So I noticed yesterday we had a broken bolt in the transfer case. Got up this morning, pulled the skid plate. The skid plate came down, both bolts fell down. So my transfer case was no longer attached to the crossover, it was just resting on there, the last part of the drive. We got them pulled out, and we will try to get them replaced today with some higher grade fasteners. What do you think, Timmy?
I think it's a good thing we decided to stay in the hotel last night because our minds are much sharper this morning than they have been sleeping out on the bush or out in the bush. So I don't think it'd be too big of a deal. Tom, would you like to weigh in on this?
I'm looking up how many Tacoma screw locations there are in the Northwest.
Very helpful. Just very helpful.
I find it interesting.
We sourced some grade 8 bolts and made the repair, and we're back on the trail.
Morning 4. We actually had to go back to where we started on morning 2, which was only like 10 miles away. Jason's yet again wrenching on his rig.
Yeah, you know, they don't have self-tightening belts, so I gotta tighten them the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, these are called V belts, not serpentine belts, for all you millennial kids out there. You notice the hood's up on the Jeep too. It's a rarity, but got an old radiator cap that's just leaking a little bit. So I went down to AutoZone and bought myself a new one. Hopefully that'll fix the problem. And Craig is putting beer in his electric ice cooler.
Say where we are.
Where are we at, Paul?
Sela.
Huh?
We're in Sela.
Sela.
Beautiful town.
It's gorgeous.
Nice green grass.
Yep, population of 8,100.
Yep, vibrant school, little league practice. Their games going last night. Hard knocking football kids.
Yep, nice. There's Tom, the observer.
Tim, what are you doing here?
Washing the rust off.
Is it working?
Looks like it. Trying to cool it down a little faster.
Oh, little external water cooling. Let's see, Robert. What do you got?
I got a 94 Land Cruiser.
Sweet. What mods have you done to it?
New tire. Right. Went through the hole under the hood. Hit a drop 10 hard bar in the back. When I bought it, it had a 3-inch slip.
Jason, how low do you want this to go?
Cool. Nice looking rig. You probably noticed we give each other a really hard time. That's because we've known each other since we were little kids. This next section was by far the group's favorite. I think it's pronounced Umpetum Ridge. Anyway, it's the ridge between Ellensburg and Yakima, and it has some of the most fantastic views of the section of the BDR that we were able to complete.
Engine coughs like it's begging for life, out in the wild, away from the strife. Four wheels roll through the mud and grime, steel on steel, gods of another time, outcast on trails where the free roam.
This hill climb could have been really slimy if there had been some rain. Luckily it was dry, so it was pretty easy to climb up and through.
Choked on the dust, I can taste the thrill. Echoes of engines bouncing off the hills. Freedom ain't clean, it's messy and harsh. No paved roads under this starry arch. Four wheels roll through the mud and grime. Steel on steel, gods of another time. Outcast on trails where the free roam wide. Old rigs and men on a hell of a ride. Oil slick hands and hearts made of fire. No easy path, no climbing any higher. We belong here in dirt and rusted frames. These back roads know we're one and the same. Four wheels roll through the mud and grime. Steel on steel, gods of another time. Outcast on trails where the free roam wide. heart's made of fire. No easy path, no climbing any higher. We belong here in dirt and rusted frames. These back roads know we're one and the same. Four wheels roll through the mud and grime. Steel on steel, gods of another time. Outcast on trails where the free roam wide. Old rigs and men on a hell of a ride.
How's that section treat you guys?
Still two-wheel drive.
Probably a 5. This would have been a good one. I should have had you stop or should have ran up here and got a video of you. So what do these antennas do, Tim?
Probably runs this little magical device right here, Paul.
Yeah.
The thing that tells you everything.
Damn, I didn't know we were being recorded. Big brother was watching.
Yeah.
Extreme MT2s handling.
Well, I'm very happy with the way these things are performing. I've yet to have to put in four-wheel drive going up a hill, and we've gone up some pretty extreme stuff.
Does your rock sliders come in handy?
I haven't used those yet, luckily. Pretty good tires. Robert, are you glad that you got new tires? I kind of figured you might be. All right, we're heading down into Ellensburg. Can't really see it there. Well, we've been on the trail since Jason's last fix for about 15 miles, we've noticed something new. Little leak there out of the differential. Yeah. What is it, 64-year-old rig? 66-year-old rig? 56-year-old rig. Handled this trail well.
I was thinking black diamond. Double black diamond.
After fueling up in Ellensburg, we headed back up the hill on the north side and came across this herd of elk that was just disappearing into the woods. Fantastic to see such variety of animals on this trip.
Boy, what a beautiful view this is up at Lions Rock. Absolutely spectacular. What do you think, Paul? It's chilly up here though. There's snow froze on the trees.
The Scout died again as we were looking for a spot to camp and did some quick troubleshooting and found out that I had no spark.
All right, we found a camp for tonight. Nice spot, a little cold up here, a little snow. It's looking pretty good. Everybody's rig did good. Coming up, all the way up until we got to camp. Yeah. Anyways, we got a nice hot fire going. Robert's gonna cook up some chili for us. And we're gonna freeze our. We're not? Oh, cocktails. Yes, perfect. Little antifreeze for the old blood.
The electronic ignition on the Scout had gone out. We'd have to wait till morning.
Okay, we're heading down. First thing this morning. It is cold this morning. I was not lying last night in my last videos when I said we were gonna freeze our ass. We had Jason's little buddy propane heater didn't let us down, but it was still cold. It's got to be in the low 20s this morning. Wouldn't you guess?
Oh, it's probably the high teens.
It is frigid. Frigid. All right, check in with you guys later. So there's always a silver lining. Look at that sunrise. That is fantastic.
Special part. It's a special part for the Scout, like everything else. Special order.
It's the
Just whatever. Everybody knows it.
yeah. That's really the only way you can make it through situations like this is just to find the humor in it. All right, we're gonna give it a try.
Fire in the hole!
No dice. Well, it looks like we're towing her out. Well, our trip is coming to an end, at least on the trail. Putting our fire out here. We're not like Top Gear or Grand Tour. We don't leave anybody behind. How do you feel about this ball?
Feel good.
Parting words at the end of the trip.
Yeah, any words of wisdom, Jason? Buy a Bronco.
Buy a brand new Bronco.
Biggest and best trip ever.
I'm pretty sure there's a Ford dealer down in Ellensburg. We could go round up a new Bronco.
Yeah. The Sasquatch edition.
This is the deal. I'm buying the Bronco, but you got to get my
Bronco for
stuff home for me.
I'll give you this. You can even roll it out.
We were just joking around about buying a new Bronco. That's part of the adventure of taking an old rig, fixing it up, and taking it on the trails. This was really a shakedown run, and you're going to have issues. It turned out that this was a distributor electronic part that went out that I couldn't source locally, so we had to tow it back home, unfortunately. But that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Well, you can see the rig strapped up, towing her back. Hey Keith, are you happy you're able to use your rig as a recovery rig?
Yes, I am. You know what they meant handy.
Yep. That's why we invited him along, so he can recover rigs for us. We are, aren't we?
Photography's been top notch.
Thanks. Almost as good as Jason's.
I like the optics of this situation much better. He was actually holding me back using his low range as we were heading down the hill, which was a long descent. But it looked like I was towing him, so that was kind of nice.
While others feast. 5 rigs blazing all night, 1 release. But this old machine's a stubborn priest.
Well, she's going on the trailer. This is where our journey ended, Ellensburg. Hi guys.
Engine roars, then silent as a ghost.
Oh well.
Well, the end of our trip. Well, the end of the off-road trip. We'll see if we all can actually make it back home without breaking down.
I think we can. I hope so.
Me too. I guess we'll see. All right, until next year, over and out.